Welcome to Fitness with Sahu. So, I'm gonna just weigh in on a few things. I don't like to weigh in on things that I've not researched, but okay, on the Olympics. Since this is a fitness channel, you might want to hear what my opinions are on the Olympics, and to be honest, it's not all bad. I mean, we saw some pretty intense matches, we saw a couple of world records being broken, but it's just not up to the standards that an Olympics should be. It's just not. Let's be very honest. Now, of course, all the fails, all the controversial stuff is going to get more publicized, but you have to watch the Olympics and see that most of it is still pretty decent. It's supposed to be all, or at the very worst, almost all of it has to be amazing. But now it's like most of it, athletes are competing hard, and female athletes are female most of the time. Most of the time. It's just most of the time. I mean, I didn't bother to watch the opening ceremony. I saw the long range of videos coming out protesting about the opening ceremony. Right? So, I mean, yeah. But let's see. Let's start from the controversies in my weigh-ins. First is a controversy. Second is my weigh-in. And second is how much research I've done. Third is the weigh-in. Okay, the first controversy, the banning of Russia. Apparently, it was initially because of a state-sponsored doping program, and later on because they attacked Ukraine less than 10 days before the Special Olympics. The Special Winter Olympics, I think. And they don't allow countries that have attacked another country within 10 days either before, during, or after the Olympics. Okay, fine. That's their own rules. The thing about these Olympics is they're following their own rules, but they're, for one, following their own rules inconsistently, and for two, their own rules are probably messed up and wrong anyway. Now, my Russian friend said that the Olympics are a corrupt political action against Russia. He is a law student. Well, okay, then. Then what? But apparently that's all fair reasons, right? Until you find out that they're complete hypocrisy. I've been hearing about the swimmers with purple faces. That wasn't outdoor swimming, that was indoor swimming. And that's because they added extra blood into their bodies to give them more stamina. And that makes your face go purple more easily, as in much more easily, from swimming. Or any sort of other intense activity. Very interesting. And if it's doping, it's probably going to affect one team a lot, and the other teams not as much, or not at all. Because it's state-sponsored doping. It's not the athletes doing shit on their own. Huh. So, you ban Russia for a state-sponsored doping program, and yet, now America is doing a state-sponsored doping program. That would be really interesting. Ban the USA from the games, you let the other countries shine because the USA is, well, overshadowing everybody else, I had to say. Especially in certain events. Fun would be to have basketball without the USA in there. That's going to be like really good. It's going to go from a battle for second place to a battle for first place. Other stuff, it's a bit tighter. So, yeah. It sounds on the surface that they're not corrupted specifically against Russia. But the fact that they're not following their own rules all the time, why didn't they ban Israel and Palestine? And just Russia? Why didn't they also ban America? They should ban America next time. To stay consistent. Otherwise, I'm going to start believing it's a corrupt action against Russia. I really am going to start believing that. Putin says that rule itself is wrong. So the second controversy, their own rules are all wrong. Why are you blaming the athletes for what I did? I'm the bad guy, not my athletes. That's what he's saying. And I agree with him, but here's the thing. The Olympics, if they are meant to encourage world peace, in fact, makes them inherently political. So they're not a pure sporting competition. That's the World Championships, apparently. Huh. Vladimir Putin's argument is that the rules of the Olympics themselves are wrong. And speaking of rules of the Olympics themselves that are wrong, this blends into our next controversy. The Algerian and Taiwanese boxers, both fighting in the women's division, I'm not sure about the weight class, but in the women's division, and, both officially female. Now, here's the thing. There's only a limit to how far this cheating can go. Both of those countries are not going to send someone that they're not sure is going to qualify, you know, that's unlikely to get disqualified. That includes likely to get disqualified for gender. So in other words, I do think both teams did do their decent amount of research on what the Olympic rules for a female are. But the problem is the Olympic rules for a female are wrong. They don't have the right standards. I mean, after one of her first few Italian opponents, or I think her first opponent, was punched in the face a couple of times, she goes, wah, 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 my nose is almost broken, that's definitely a male. Well, first of all, okay. Okay, maybe that's a caveat. Maybe you meant you've never been punched in the face that hard by a woman your own size. Because I find it hard to believe nobody was ever strong enough to break your nose. Like, what is it, your nose is made out of steel? I mean, you're not in the lightest woman's weight class. Even the woman should be strong enough to break your nose. I mean, that's quite demeaning, actually. Okay. So, let's see. Then, news comes out, this Taiwanese boxer has failed a gender test in 2023 in the World Boxing Championships by the WBO. And that person has failed the test for having XY chromosomes. Is it possible to look like a female but have XY chromosomes? Of course it is. Even from birth. Even if you're a race female, that is definitely possible. But I still think the Olympics is following its own rules, considering that last time's Olympics, they actually let a fully intact, transitioned man in the women's division in super heavyweight weightlifting, which I made a few videos about, and that person, I don't know if this is on purpose, failed both their lifts to apparently show that a man that became a woman has no advantage, as if failing a test on purpose shows that cheating on your test gave you no advantage. I've told this thing before. But this Taiwanese boxer, at least she didn't fail on purpose. They actually won the gold medal. Okay. Okay. At least. Because I hate people doing stuff badly. Like, that's intolerable. Even if you're doing something wrong, do it well. Okay? If you believe that your wrong actions are right, you better do them right. You better do them well. Like, it's so annoying. Okay. But, okay, so, like, yeah, fine. I actually believe it. Why the heck? Try to discredit those that are saying it. We have the right to prosecute and say that our heroine is a man. Right? Saying our heroine is a man, even though it was the Italian opponent and the World Championships that was in Europe, I think. I'm not sure. But definitely not in Russia. But yet, some people in Korea are saying it's the Russian disinformation campaign. So apparently, getting punched in the nose and giving up in a boxing competition makes you Russian. I never knew that. That's some pretty interesting information. I like interesting facts. Really. If you say bad news about the Olympics, you are Russian. Until the Olympics opening ceremony came up, and that itself was bad news, because it sucked. So that's their own rules. Their own rules are fucking stupid. And wrong. Why the heck are they not just, you know, testing her for XY chromosomes and releasing those? I don't think it's even that difficult. I really don't think it's even that difficult to test someone for XY chromosomes. And here's the funny part. If that person came positive for XY chromosomes, they probably still wouldn't disqualify him. You know why? Because, according to their rules, if you have female genitals and were raised as female, you are a female. Chromosomes mean nothing to them. Even though this chromosomes means you have more testosterone right from puberty, right? And it's your hands that you're fighting with. Your hands are straightened by testosterone. Like, it's the first thing to get stronger. But okay, fine. Speaking of that, next controversy. So you're saying that a suspected advantage is not even tested. You know what else is not even tested? Hydration levels of wrestlers. Every single person who knows anything at all about weight class sports, especially fighting sports, knows that basically every single fighter is going to dehydrate themselves and then rehydrate themselves before the competition. That way they fit in the smallest possible weight category while being as strong as possible for their size. It's one of the methods. And everyone does it. But it's going too far. And to be honest, it probably gives you an even bigger advantage than most types of doping does, frankly speaking. Frankly speaking, trying to gain back 3 kilograms, your natural body weight is 2 kilograms heavier than that, might actually give you a comparable advantage to many many performance-enhancing drugs which are all banned in the Olympics. They've even banned drugs that cannot even be tested. Fun, huh? I mean, then what? Why aren't they testing every wrestler? It's a 2-day competition. Your weight gets weighed on the first day, and then it gets weighed on the second day. Apparently, if you're too heavy on the second day, your first day matches all don't count, even though you were not too heavy on the first day. Now, this is